from G's Gear here, yelling a little bit because we've got the volume down on the recorder and the volume up on the amplifier, so you can hear this really cool Silvertone H1453. This is the Silvertone version of the Harmony Rebel, and I think it's actually an improved version, to be honest, because the old Rebel, as you remember, any aficionados of those, was loaded up with sliders, and those sliders were always crackly and scratchy, and they're tough to replace. The Silvertone version has good old-fashioned potentiometers for your volume and your tone controls, with basic on-off switches that would replace the three-way switch, so you can turn either of the two off or have both of them on. Same as the three-way. So it's a really cool guitar. It's a beautiful, rich red burst, and the guitar dates from about 1968. If my memory's right, that's the only year that they made these. I think it's either 68 or it's like 65 to 68. It's a really short window of time that Silvertone released these. And of course, Silvertone was the house brand of Sears, and many of their guitars, not all of them, but many of them were made by Harmony. This one's made by Harmony. It needed a lot of goofy work when it came in to the shop. It actually, in retrospect, did a lot of busy work. It didn't need a whole lot that was major. When it came into the shop, it had been set up for slide playing with a very high nut. And whoever had it before us actually took the time to raise everything else. The nut was going to be raised. They raised the pickups with weird risers, like homemade risers. They raised the bridge, and they even raised parts of the pick guard here, the surround here, the control panel. So we had to strip all that stuff off. Some of it was glued on. We had to take that off carefully to protect the finish. But we made a new bone nut for it, got everything set up properly. It plays with a very quick action. We leveled and crowned all the frets, touched up a few spots of finish that were in poor shape, removed the tuners, cleaned and lubricated them, used deoxit on the potentiometers to clean and lubricate them, and the guitar's ready to go. What this is, in a weird way, this is the Harmony, and thus the Silvertone, variant on the Rickenbacker guitar, with the single cutaway, or the single F-hole, I should say, double cutaway, single F-hole, and full access to all the frets with that double cutaway. It's a real easy access all the way up. The comparison pretty much ends there. It's just sort of appearance-wise. It looks like a Rickenbacker, same basic Rickenbacker body, but it's de-Armond pickups made in Chicago, and they date from 1968, which is how we dated the guitar. Everything else is original other than the nut. The whammy bar is missing, but the apparatus, the spring apparatus that sits underneath the tailpiece here, is in place. So if you wanted to put a whammy bar on it, they are available. They're sort of retro versions of them, that have been made, or you can find an old original one, and they just screw right on. They're not great. The whammies on these were never great, so we just decided to leave it off. But what you'll love about it, of course, are these de-Armond pickups. They're single coil. They're, I think, maybe the best single coil, or close to the best single coil pickups ever made in this country. Great rich sound. Let's put it through a couple of its paces. So the pickup selector switches are right here. When they're up, they're off. You get nothing out of it. So it's each individual pickup. We'll start with the neck pickup here. Put that on. think it's, yeah, that's your tone. Volume and tone. So they're nice and clean. Bridge pickup. Very bright. It's almost like it's got a little tonal overdrive once you really hit the top end of it. If you roll it off a little bit, it starts to get a lot bluesier. Maybe that's just me. Get both pickups on, and then of course, with your volume, with your tone, you blend your sound to get what you want. Roll those tone controls off, and it's a tremendous change in the pickups. I'm losing my pick here. It's a little rock and roll monster here, right? And you've got the Fender style headstock on it with 6 inline tuners. It's got a number of blemishes on the body. Some of them were the result of the decals that were on here. One of them is over here, just between the two pickups on the top. But nothing significant. There's some nicks and dings on the back of the neck. That's about it. Other than that, it's in really great shape. Plays well. It's light as a feather. This thing is really light. So I'm a little surprised that it's not feeding back as I sit here next to my Ampeg Reverberocket. But I will say that on the whole, I don't find that the de-Armond pickups feed back quite that much in hollow body guitars, and I play a lot of hollow body instruments. So this is here at G's Gear, and it's here today, right? I don't know how long it'll last. We're going to put an attractive price point on this one, and it comes in a soft case gig bag that's fairly recent. It's clean. It's in really nice shape. When you swing over to the store, G's Gear at reverb.com, and look at the page, we'll have plenty of high definition photographs of everything, including the case. You can zoom in on them, you can see everything, and check it out to your heart's content. Action wise, it looks to me that it's about a 330 seconds and maybe a light 330 seconds, and it can come down farther. If you want to bring this down further, it's got room to go. I find it comfortable where it is, and keeping it where it is, I don't get any fretting out or any buzzing. Silvertone H1453. That's the Silvertone designation. This would be the equivalent of a Harmony H82 Rebel. But again, it's got potentiometers here with standard volume and tone knobs as opposed to those slider switches. And I don't think that the Harmony guitars came in the red burst. I think they were mostly that avocado green. I might be wrong on that. All the hardware is in beautiful shape. Everything cleaned up really well. Like I say, some nicks and dings on the body. Frets have been leveled and crowned. Brand new nut. Tuners have been lubricated and cleaned. All the electronics work very cleanly. There's no pops or crackles. And she's ready to go. Okay, gang, I'll figure something to noodle on to play us out. And we'll see you on the flip side at G's Gear. Take it easy. Who knows where we're going here?